because there was no record of a Hittite empire apart from the Bible. Critics argued for years that the biblical references to the nation of the Hittites were pure myth. But once again, archaeologists discovered that the Hittites existed and that they had possessed a vast empire covering the region now known as Turkey. After records from the Ebla kingdom and some pottery was discovered, and cuneiform tablets discovered in Bogaskoy, Turkey, mentioned their name. Bible Vindicated. Critics also argued that Pontius Pilate never existed in history because the only record of his life was found in the, quote, New Testament. Well, guess what? Archaeologists were digging in the area of Caesarea on the coast of Israel in 1961 when they found a stone engraved in Latin with the name of Pontius Pilate. The stone stated that he was the prefect or governor of Judea at the exact time the New Testament claims, and the engraving was dated to be about 2,000 years ago. Bible Vindicated. Does the, quote, Nabonidus Chronicle prove the Bible wrong? At the British Museum, a visitor can see the Nabonidus Chronicle, a copy of which can be seen in photos. It describes the fall of ancient Babylon, even as the Bible also does, Daniel chapter 5, verses 30 and 31. But the Bible says that Belshazzar was then king of Babylon. Yet the Nabonidus Chronicle does not even name Belshazzar. In fact, at one time, all known ancient writings said that Nabonidus was Babylon's last king. So some who said the Bible is not true claim that Belshazzar never existed and that the Bible was wrong. But in recent years, ancient writings have been found that identify Belshazzar as a son of Nabonidus and co-ruler with his father in Babylon at the time. Yes, the Bible vindicated. Yet the Bible does not contain only true history. Everything it says is true and accurate. Even when it touches on matters of science, it is marvelously accurate, despite what atheist drones sloppily think. To give just some examples, in ancient times it was commonly believed that the earth had some visible support, that it rested on something, such as on a giant elephants. Yet in perfect agreement with scientific evidence, the Bible reports that God is hanging the earth upon nothing. Job 26:7. Obviously, that means nothing solid, as gravity is not anything solid that people even fully understand, that can be touched in that sense. The earth is not touching or hitting anything solid, such as the moon, sun, or other planets, and is not supported by anything solid in that sense. So the desperate atheists using that silly nonsense to try to discredit the Bible, because after all, Jews at the time were stupid, right? That is the paradigm. And as committed atheists, they can't deviate from that script. Well, it won't work. And rather than saying that the earth is flat, as many believed in the past, the Bible says that God is dwelling above the sphere of the earth, the circle of the earth, the round earth. Isaiah chapter 40, verse 22. The Hebrew word kug was the only Hebrew word at the time for sphere back then, not the Hebrew word dur. The word dur meant pylon or surrounding, as surrounding a fort, or pylon rocks. It did not mean round ball. Also, it's assumed that a ball is always spherical or round or circular. It's not. In other words, it's just a pile of any shape. A football is not spherical. And also, kug does not mean, quote, flat disc, which was a different Hebrew word, something like tekli. The Bible and the ancient Hebrews did not think or say or teach that the earth was a flat disc. That's just another typical Darwinist or atheist talking point and misnotion. What the drones need to understand is that kug could be easily translated in English as sphere, not just circle. Also, they don't understand or grasp the point is that a sphere is a circle. Atheists, for some reason, wrongly think that, quote, circle has to mean only a, quote, flat disc. No. If you look in the night sky, and it's a clear sky, and see a full moon, for example, in the sky, the shape you're seeing is a round circle. Spheres are circular. Spheres are not triangular. Spheres are not square. Spheres are circular all around. You know, if you were to draw, let's say you were to draw on a piece of paper a full moon, what shape would you be drawing? You'd be drawing a circle shape. A sphere is a circle. You wouldn't be drawing, you know, a square or rectangle. It's circular in that it's round. Circle does not mean just flat disc. The Hebrew word for flat disc is not used for the earth in the Bible. The atheist drones fail. When atheists laughably and desperately bring up the case in Matthew where the devil showed Jesus, quote, all the kingdoms of the world from the top of a mountain, they stupidly think that that was a geographical statement in the Bible. Fail, colossal, desperate, idiotic, epic fail. Could they be more desperate and sloppy? They don't understand that it was a miraculous vision by Satan and not a geographical thing. It says in Luke that it was all shown in a, quote, instant of time. Obviously, it was saying it was a vision that only Satan in that context could miraculously show in that sense. Not something that could be viewed by just anyone from a mountain. Atheist idiots need to grow up with their desperate quote mining of the Bible. The Bible nowhere calls or even implies that the earth is flat, but just the opposite. But biased robots who can't depart from their atheist script see things how they only want to idiotically see them, because they want the Bible to have errors, because that fits their agendas better. The Bible can't have any accurate things in that because, well, that would be a problem. The point is, the quote, all the kingdoms of the world, that example is so pathetic, it's almost unbelievable. That was a miraculous vision shown in an instant of time, in a moment of time. That was not a geographical statement in the Bible. Fail. And also desperately jumping on things like, quote, four corners, or sun rising, or maybe pillars of the earth. In Job, they quote that. They quote mine that, no less. Job, the book of Job, the very place that it says the earth, quote, hangs on nothing. So obviously when it says, quote, pillars or, quote, foundations, it's speaking metaphorically in the language of the day. Things that are said even today, even by weathermen and scientists themselves. Do atheists call up the news stations to complain when weather journalists say, quote, sunrise? Or do they whine when they hear expressions like, quote, four corners of the earth said by everyday people? These were just idiomatic expressions of the day and even used today, and were not scientific dissertations per se. The ancient Hebrews knew that the earth was a globe, not a flat disc. I mean, they weren't, dwelling or harping on that. They weren't thinking about that all day long. But, Isaiah, Job, the Bible does not teach a flat earth. Not in any scientific dissertation or technical sense. So flat earthers, those who are around, need to grow a brain, and so do soapbox atheist drone tards. Isaiah and Job indicate a spherical earth that hangs on nothing. Only pagans believe that the earth was supported by literal objects or huge animals. Bible Vindicated. The Apostle Paul wrote that all of creation is in bondage to decay. Isaiah wrote that the stars and planets, quote, disperse and, quote, wear out like a garment. Isaiah 51:6 and also Psalm 102 verses 25 and 26. At a time when the pagans around worship the stars and planets as gods who live forever, Isaiah knew better, and so did the psalmist. The stars and planets wear out, they said, and run down. This scientific fact was documented in 1850, and then on was referred to as the second law of thermodynamics. Bible Vindicated.